Like I never know, okay, you're from there. And then this person asked me, what's your LinkedIn? Like, I should prepare my LinkedIn. So it was like it's a mind-blowing experience for me.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Voice Podcast, the podcast for students by students. I'm your host, Sean, and today we have with us Gail, who is a student in digital marketing communication, who is doing her internship right now. She also loves networking, and this episode is based around networking. And she will teach with us some tips and tricks, and also why networking is important. And we also have in the second part of the episode, which you don't want to miss, we have a little game which we are going to play, which is called Big Talk. It's a card game which Gail plans to bring to networking events so that everyone feels comfortable. So, without no further wasting time, let's start with you, Gail. What's one thing which I forgot to mention into the introduction about you?
What else? That I used to train. I used to be a certified personal trainer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still a certified trainer.
Yeah.
But not, actively
Oh,
teaching other people
okay, so why did you stop personal training?
because I'm here in Canada. I want to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like learn more.
About what, for example, what have you learned so far?
Because I still own a fitness gym in my
Yeah.
country. So, yeah, like I want to save the business and make it maybe sustainable in long term. So, a digital marketing at that time is not, the course is not offered in my country.
Okay.
So, it's like, like sometimes you have to dream taking an international school or international course in a foreign country. Yeah, I had that impression that it would really help you think differently, so maybe more ideas.
All right. What's one thing that fascinated you with a digital marketing course, which you're passionate right now doing actively on LinkedIn and other socials?
I think the digital marketing course really opens you up in surprising ways because I thought that when taking digital marketing, you can learn theoretically, but along the way, it gives you the courage to, to share something online. And like you have an idea, like probably a structure. I don't know. It's just giving you the confidence. Yeah, to show your personality.
Let's just describe what is networking for students. What's the, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. In my own term, networking is building connections with other people. Just, like just meeting them, learning about them, just be like interested in what they're sharing with you. So, yeah, like in return,
What are some fantastic things or topics you've learned through making connections?
I think as a newcomer and as a student, you sometimes feel insecure. Like you're too focused on yourself. I think the third time that I kept showing up, what struck me the most is that people tend to remember you, like you're interested with them. Like aside from forming that initial connection, kind of led to the unexpected. This person knows this person.
Yeah.
Like it's really giving you that pathway that, and then they're trying, and then it's starting to like recommend you with that person, because of that small talk that you gain, and then you get contacted. So that's very surprising, just by showing up.
Like when you went out, when you go out networking, Can you mention like one person that really amazed you and why?
I think it's Norman.
Mm-hmm.
He is the business development manager in Kingston Economic Development. Because he told me once it's very important to have to go out, make an appointment with yourself to connect with other people just once a month. Like it can really help in your career because
Mm-hmm.
that's for him. That's what happened to him. He's just been 3 years in Kingston,
Mm-hmm.
and just by reaching out,
Yeah.
showing up, that led him to that position. Like so, that's really impressive. And he's a newcomer too.
What would you say that students should know when they go for the first time networking?
There's a situation that when I invited a friend, she was a classmate
Mhm.
in my previous course. Um, I didn't tell her what to expect.
Yeah.
So she expected, and some of them expected that
Yeah.
there's a program, always a program for networking.
Mm-hmm.
So that really is one of the things that's unique too in networking here in Kingston. I don't know from others, is that when you arrive, someone would greet you, maybe a host,
Mm-hmm.
just get your name, and then you start talking with other people. So the structure is
Mm-hmm.
just like that, right? Like you
Yeah.
come in there and then get your name, and then you talk,
Mm-hmm.
and you start talking with other people. Like
Sure.
what's interesting is those people who are in that event are willing to talk to you. So it's kind of like for me, slight intimidating, but the thought that they're there because they're interested to talk with you makes it more like exciting.
Alrighty. And is there any way that one thing which you have created is a social platform, well, a WhatsApp group, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a networking body.
Yeah.
And just lately I put the name Kingston
Yeah.
Networking Buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a group.
Yeah. And what's the goal of a group you want to achieve with that?
The initial goal of Kingston Networking Buddies is to have that support. Like if you want to join a networking event,
Mhm.
you can be sure that there's somebody who would go with you so that the intimidation is so low
Mhm.
and you get to enjoy the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think that people, students or not, who go to networking event, like even first time, second time, why do they feel socially like awkward when they go to networking events?
Uh-huh. There's also a friend. I invited him. I said, let's go to the networking event. And he said that I think it's too early for me to attend that.
Mm.
It's too intimidating. That's usually the term.
Yeah.
So I think the reason why students are not like opening up or maybe not interested for now is because it's not really, like what do you call that? It's unclear because
Mhm.
like I have an Indian classmate. Networking is a different term for them. In my country, networking is different. It's like you go in this event and someone would sell you, like a multi-level marketing. So the term
Mhm.
is negative.
Mhm.
And also and also that in that Indian classmate, it's also like negative. Like
Mhm.
yeah, so I think awareness
Yeah.
is, like it really needs awareness on what to expect, what it's all about, and what's the meaning of networking here in this country.
So how would you like, and this is where this networking buddy comes into place, right?
Mhm.
Is knowing that you will have a friend with you
Mhm.
going to the networking event, and also it feels like, yeah, I'm not alone doing that. If
Mhm.
my friend is doing it, I can also do it,
Mhm.
I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a question for you.
sure.
So we met the first time we met in a networking, was it in March?
I
It's
guess
in March,
it was
right?
in March.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Grizzly Grill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the second one was just last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, I guess. Yeah.
Hmm.
At the underwater something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my question is, what did you feel when you saw me there?
Uh, I I
Like,
think
like you're familiar with me, and
yeah.
then you saw me there. Like, what did you feel?
I just felt like I know you. Yeah.
Hmm. So does that
Yeah.
gives you like a little bit of confidence that like you are not there, like alone, like
Mm, kind of.
kind of.
It feels like a familiar place. Yeah,
Hmm.
I would say.
Hmm.
Yeah. I would say I'm confident by myself. I always go out. Most of the time, I went out. I went
Hmm.
out by myself, so
Hmm.
I really don't have a problem going alone or being with a friend.
Hmm.
To be honest, and for me, it's just like, yeah, you're here, good.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Like,
No, it's
I'm
okay.
not. I'm a particular case. For
Yes.
most people, I've traveled a lot. I
Okay,
met
that's
with a lot of
wonderful.
people. So I used to work in hotels,
Hmm.
working hospitality. So I usually talk with people. I'm pretty
Hmm.
fine with it.
But but you can imagine, right? What
Mhm.
if um you're not
Yeah,
what
I
if
can imagine
yeah,
because there
like
were a time. There was a time when I was like probably 16, 17, and 18. I was very introvert.
mm-hmm.
So well, maybe younger. So yeah, I can understand how having a friend can be more helpful in that particular scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can digress. For example, you're going to a nightclub for the first time. You're like, you don't know how, but having a friend with you is pretty
Like
cool.
gives you a boost.
Gives
Gives
you a
you a
boost.
boost.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of say, but
So so the networking buddies
mhm,
is especially those for people who really need support. Like for me,
mhm,
like I go to a place once I know that you're there,
yeah,
it gives me the courage. So yeah, but if since you are part of the networking buddies
yeah,
and knowing you
mhm,
like likes to reach out to explore,
mhm,
so having you in the group
yeah.
really gives more, an edge,
Yeah,
more
I
edge to
yeah.
the members
One of
because
the
you will be
reason
sharing.
I joined also is because I believe if there are new people who come, I can maybe introduce them to that
Yeah.
working buddy, and also it's always good to know people around the city. Be it just a friend. Like just when I sometimes when I go to networking events, I actually don't talk about the career or what the
Yeah.
person does because I just like, for example, food. I love food, so this is a topic which I just don't love food to eat. I really love cooking. I really
Uh-huh.
love discovering food around the world, how cooks prepare, what's behind, and everything. So I really love talking. And food is a subject which is relative to
Mhm.
everybody. Everybody is food, so
Yeah.
everybody can relate to it in
So
some
can I
way.
have another
Sure,
question?
please do.
Because the last time that we went to the something in the
Yeah,
water,
yeah,
you were talking to Stella, right? Was it
yeah.
Stella?
That's
And you
correct.
just been talking to her like
Food.
for longer, like so it's all about food.
All about
Oh
food.
my god, that was
She's
a
from
good.
Vietnam,
Uh-huh.
and we just talk about food, and she was talking about food. It's just like, yeah, people.
Really
For me, I
connect.
can talk about food
Yeah.
all. I can talk all my life about food,
Wow, that's
except
interesting.
when I need to eat it. Then I won't talk about. I will just be quiet
Yeah.
and eat the food.
Because it's really where, like, I've attended last 2 weeks ago. It was my sixth attendance.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see someone who can really talk for only that person longer than 20
Mhm.
minutes, 30 minutes. So I'm curious, like, what did Sean talk about that made you connect?
Absolutely food.
It's about food.
Just food. Food connects people. I think we talk also about traveling as well. She has been for quite some time into
Mhm.
Canada, so mostly a traveling, hospitality, business student. So for me, knowing someone in the scientific field and being curious about it
Mhm.
is lovely. And yeah, people just follow up and talk and talk and talk.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very relaxing atmosphere also, uh,
Yes.
to talk, and everybody is having a good time. When you're surrounded by people having a good time, also it makes you feel,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes more natural. And
Mm-hmm.
for the first networking event that I attended was at the Grizzly Grill. This one was a bit more, like I would say, everybody was a bit in their corner, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I talked with Ailey, which is my friend in human resources. And then I met, I talked, because they were just people I know.
Oh.
That's why it felt awkward to me at some point. I was like, the first, who am I going to meet here? And then there was like this guy who was working at Queen's. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about who I didn't know when I talked to him. And guess what we talked about?
What?
Cartoons during the 90s.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's very specific. The Marvel's Batman, the animated series, if you watched it,
Uh-huh.
Spider-Man, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I never like talking about. It's something I never like. I think it should be secondary or third topic of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the tip is like get something. People love to talk about what they really like, in their personal life when they relax, and
Mm-hmm.
talking something about they feel relaxed will make them more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can branch it out to, well, how do you manage to do that with your work? And then
Yeah. Yeah, because you're into deep talk.
I'm a
It
lot,
can,
yeah,
yes.
people real, yeah,
Yes.
I'm really into deep talk, so yeah, and not a lot of people are too much into deep talk. A deep talk doesn't mean to be like, oh, we're thinking a lot when
Mm-hmm.
we're talking. A deep talk is when, for me, it's like it's effortless. You
Yeah.
talk with that person before. Sometimes it will happen. For example, like you talk to someone, you sense that person, yeah, just like it's just small talk for the sake of small talk. That person is probably uncomfortable, so you need to break the ice.
Yeah.
And if that person isn't giving you any opening to break the ice, then hey, I can't do nothing for you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're not going to be networking buddies. So
So that's really interesting because in networking, my first experience that was in
tell me,
February. So I volunteered.
yeah, which one was it? Which
In the
networking?
Black Entrepreneurship Ecosystem.
Black
They're
entrepreneurship.
launching their
Yeah,
organization.
yeah,
So I was just there for photography.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I have a classmate. His name is Parth. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to try.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, like, after the first program,
Mm-hmm.
Norman said, okay, or the host said, like, okay, we'll give you 1 hour time for networking. And I was like, what? Like, yeah, I've heard that before, the networking, but to see it live in action, like,
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for it. And then suddenly the room was started to get noisy, like, and suddenly I was curious, like, oh, so this is the pitch. Like the teachers or whatever you read
Yeah.
online, like you had to prepare your pitch because somebody would ask you, what do you do?
Yeah.
So I was at awe of seeing people just talk,
Yeah.
and then they switch, and then they, like mingle around, and then there's a drink, and then it was a very energetic, exciting, like it's very dynamic. Like I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
So like the experience, like, oh my gosh, there's Mayor Brian Patterson. He's here, like attending, and you get to talk, like, sir, something. And then just all those people. Like I never know, okay, you're from there. And then this person asked me, what's your LinkedIn? Like, I should prepare my LinkedIn. So it was like it's a mind-blowing experience for me.
Absolutely.
I think that should be captured. That dynamic in what's networking is.
Yeah.
It should be shared. Because reading through it, I had a book, bought a book, I still couldn't understand what's the dynamic, what's really happening when networking. Yeah, because it's different again in my country. So with that experience, the second time around is I said to myself, I have to shoot what's really happening when they say networking event. So that's why I started posting.
Yeah.
That it's
And so, what's you mentioned pitch? What is your pitch when you people approach you?
I don't have a pitch. Until now, I don't have a
I
pitch.
don't too. I don't.
Because it's really different. Because once you're in there, it
Mm.
really depends on, because there are people who would ask you something interesting about you that they've noticed. That's
Yeah.
very catchy. You know, like this one would say, "Hey, I like your dress."
Yeah.
Somebody, "Oh, thank you," and then the questions or those conversations leads to another. So the pitch is for me not really that. It depends maybe on
Yeah, it
in
depends.
the event.
Yeah.
But here so far, I don't know. Maybe I have to work on the pitch.
Maybe it depends,
How about you?
I don't have a pitch.
What if somebody would ask you, "Hey, so what do you do?"
I have what?
Did somebody ask you that?
Yeah, I host a podcast.
That's very powerful answer.
I host a podcast for
That's
the
very
student association at
interesting.
St.LawrenceCollege. Yeah.
Wow.
So not many people host a podcast, so it's
Yeah.
already people are surprised by it. So
That makes it memorable, Sean.
yeah, so I
That's a
guess
good
so.
pitch.
And this gives me enough time to prepare what I want to follow up and to have a reaction. So yeah, well, I don't prepare also. It's just like in the moment, like people will ask kind of a question. So what's the podcast is about?
Yeah.
Then basically, it's a podcast for students by student, which is funded by the student association, and I host and manage it. So all the content are. Oh, you get a bit of insight about what I do in the background. So what I do is what I would talk with someone in networking, and then that person will, yeah, wow, how do you do that in 12 hours? The networking events in Kingston. What are the networking events? Like you said, there was this event where you volunteered. Are there any other events in the city of Kingston where students can go out and network?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
So you're asking me about
Yeah, the networking events in town.
yeah. What I've found is that every 2 weeks there is a networking happening.
Yeah.
So the first 2 weeks of the month, the Kingston Economic Development hosted it, and then every last Thursday of the month, it's the keys for newcomers. So yeah, so like if you show up every 2 weeks, we never know. It's like you're planting seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you never know. Like even if you're still at school and you start to build relationships with other people, connecting with them in LinkedIn, and then like for this example, one of the CEO of my company, the agency, yeah, most of my contacts, like the CEO and everything, I met through networking.
Okay.
You don't start finding work when you don't have work anymore. Like you're in desperate situation, but it's proactivity. While you're still doing fine.
Yeah.
Have more people connect with more people.
Absolutely.
So that when the time comes that you're out of job, you have those support already. Like you can just ask them, message them, like, please, do you have work?
Sure.
Rather than, so that motivates me that I have to go there every 2 weeks. Aside, I am also a buddy, so yeah, so there's two motivations there.
Absolutely. And so you are going there every 2 weeks. Have you noticed a change in the crowd?
What I've noticed, I'm not noticing the crowd, but what I've noticed is the confidence that it gives.
Yeah.
It's giving me. And then every time I see someone, I know it's new. it's first time. I would know the face. You would know the face of someone. It's the first time. Like they're brave enough to attend.
Yeah.
So what I do is I try to be the host, like not overriding the host, but
Yeah.
really try them to help them like hi, like even though
Yeah.
you're not part of the organization.
Absolutely.
Because you know what it feels like.
Yeah, and the event is there for that, for you to
Yes.
network, so you're not
Yeah.
overdoing anything.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah.
majority of the time when you get in there,
Mm.
most people are absorbed already with the talking with other people. And then when you come in late, like "Hmm, who am I going to talk to, especially if you're new?"
Yeah.
Like nobody's, yeah, I've experienced that. Nobody's looking at my eyes like eye to eye, like, really
Yeah.
to talk to me. So but if there's someone like just,
Mhm.
I guess I'm the gatekeeper. Like welcome. Just to make sure that there's somebody
Yeah,
who would talk to
of
you,
course.
if Sean
Yeah.
is so engaged with Stella. Yeah, like okay, like
I don't know.
yeah, so I feel comfortable doing that though.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Sean is so engaged with Stella.
Or is it the other way around? Or like both of you?
I don't know.
Like, like very interesting. Like very interested. You're both interested with the topic.
Time just went by. And, oh.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
because I'm always like I was taking photos and
Yeah.
then I look at it's still Sean
At some
and
point,
Stella.
Mika joined also.
Yeah, but in the
conversation.
for the last 30 minutes, I guess, before the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Amazing because of food.
Yeah, because of food.
So I've never had that experience. Hopefully I will have.
But I guess you also like you said, you're a gatekeeper.
Yeah, like okay, so like what I like about it is because since I know the feeling of intimidation,
Yeah.
if I see someone who's like vacant, I will lead them like, okay, this is, so really host them.
Yeah.
Give them like if, for example, the event organizer is busy helping other people, at least I could help in my own way, like do this and do that. Because again, I know what it feels like. I'm not saying that those people who are there don't feel it, but if I'm available, I'm the doorkeeper, the guard.
That's a very funny name.
What? Yeah,
like give networking gatekeeper. Right?
Networking gatekeeper. I just wanna, yeah.
That's the name of your website. A networking
gatekeeper. We should do that, right? Like I should do that. But anyway, as much as possible, before like what I am envisioning is before that person gets in the door, it's like you're prepping him, Like for example, there's something in the water, it has two doors.
Yeah.
If only I could be there. Okay, what's your name? Okay, here's the thing. Okay. I'm gonna lead you. Get your name. And then when that person comes in, like he can open himself up. Like I don't know what I'm talking about, but
yeah, it's like that person, you go there with like your positive energy, and you approach that person. That person first point of contact is you, and it's like, oh, so that's amazing. The first person I talk to is a person that makes me feel comfortable. So then the person will go with a positive assumption
he's
that
bringing
everybody is like that. So I think that's cool. That's what your role is as a
unexpectedly.
Yeah, the networking gatekeeper.
Networking doorkeeper, I guess. Doorkeeper, yeah.
Gatekeeper sounds cooler.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Okay, networking.
Like a doorkeeper is a door. The gate is a gate. So, yeah. I don't know.
I didn't expect that. Anyway, you're kidding, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no such thing as networking
gatekeeper. Goalkeeper. So who's the goalkeeper?
Who's the goalkeeper?
Anyway, networking is really fun. Like, even though every networking you still feel something, like, you still feel shy,
Yeah.
but it makes your face thicker when you go there,
Yeah.
you know you're feeling that, but
Yeah.
the thickness of your face,
Mhm.
because of you keep coming back, the
Yeah.
experience overrides.
Yeah.
So, and what happens is, because of too much thickness of your face, somebody would ask me like, "Are you the event organizer?" Come on, no, I'm not.
When are you creating your network?
No. Oh, that would be a big plan.
Yeah,
That would be a big plan.
absolutely.
But that's a
Uh,
nice thought.
mhm.
Someone suggested it, but
Yeah, not right now.
yeah. Do you think it should
Uh,
have a qualifications to do that?
no,
No.
no. You just say you want to book the space and want to host a networking event based. You know what would be cool? Theme networking event.
Ah, that's so
You
nice.
know, like artist exposition.
Yes, right.
If you're, for example, a videographer, let everyone bring your video of a
Mhm.
month. You know, yeah, things
Oh,
like
I
that.
love that. That's a good
But it's
one.
very niche. Already, a lot of people don't attend.
I know.
A lot of people don't attend those. So like now you're
Mhm.
going to create something more niche. It's
Mhm.
basically why people go to, for example, in LA. When I live there, you would go to an art exposition.
Mhm.
So you know you're going to meet art people. So you go there and
Yes.
you go for the
There's a
art, but
theme.
also you meet people and people love to talk in LA. So it's easy to network better
Mhm.
in LA. You know, I went to a newcomers night and they had two truth, one lie, you know? So before the event started, everyone received a sheet and put their two truth, one lie.
But there will be a lot of attendees. So how do you?
You just print like 200 paper and then you go. 200 piece of paper, you write your two truth, one lie, and then yeah, you kind of
How do
write.
you choose like all the guests? Well,
Well, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a networking event, right?
Okay.
At the entrance, like for example, like there's the host, okay? The host checks you in, blah blah blah, and then the host will also give you a piece of paper where you just write your two truths. Like there's three boxes. You write your first truth, your second
Mhm.
truth, and the third box, or you write your lie in the middle.
Mhm.
So then the person will have to guess. So when you approach,
Guess your name.
no, the two truth and the one lie. You
Okay.
guess the lie.
Oh, I should guess a lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
For example, you know the game Two Truths, One Lie?
I have like an experience with, but because it's in a class, like you name the person with this kind of qualities that.
No. Two Truth, One Lie. Yeah, I am. Let's play Two Truth, One Lie.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you three amazing facts about me.
Okay.
And two of them will be the truth,
Okay.
and one of them will be the lie.
Mm-hmm. And I
So
would guess.
now you have to guess.
Mm-hmm.
So my first experience is back in 2020. I traveled around 5 destinations around the world,
Okay.
from Los Angeles to Atlanta to New York, then to Dubai, then to Mauritius in 72 hours.
Wow. Okay.
My second amazing experience, in Mauritius, we have the Black River Gorge, which is a beautiful valley, which very rainforesty.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there. I stayed there for 8 hours without a phone, just with a backpack, a bottle of water, a knife, and a rope, with two of my best friends, with a tour guide.
Mm-hmm.
The third one is when I was an intern at the Hilton in Mauritius. I was in events and marketing. We hosted one of the biggest diplomatic event,
Mm-hmm.
which was in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Hosting the president of China, Xi Jinping. So I met the president of China.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of those three is the lie?
That is so hard to choose.
Because It's like I tell a story with us.
Yeah.
So that's why it makes it hard. Some people to truth one lie, or like I have a dog, I have a cat, I have a
Yeah.
kid. So yeah, some are
Yeah.
very boring to truth one lie. So
I think number one is the lie
why do
that
you
you
think?
traveled 72 hours.
So you think it's impossible?
I don't I don't think it's
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's impossible.
Mhm.
You can do it. Like
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the situation like that's forming my mind is I think it's number 3 that you've met the president.
Number 2 is the lie.
Right?
Yeah.
You went there without a phone? For me that was a scary thought, but it's possible too.
Yeah.
that you
So
can-
I didn't go. I never went into the Black River Gorge without a phone. And I never went there for 8 hours. So yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So number 1 is the truth. Number 3 is a lie. Number 3 is the truth. Number 2 was a lie.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 3 was like I didn't meet the president, but it was like, I saw him.
Oh, you
like
saw
that.
him.
So
Okay.
I saw that's not that meeting.
President Xi.
Xi Jinping.
Is Xi, okay.
Xi Jinping, yeah.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
now you tell me your 2 truth, 1 lie.
Oh, that's hard.
Come on, go.
The first one is I'm 30 years old. The second one is when I was 7, I used to walk 3 hours from the mountain to the town to go to school.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And the third one is I used to sell street foods.
I'll say walking from a mountain to go to school for
Is a
3 hours.
lie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what should I say?
I guess the lie. I get 5 points.
The lie is number 1.
Oh damn, I don't get any points.
Yes. So the lie is number 1.
Yeah.
I'm not 30 years old. But I will be turning 41 this. Number 2 is for real. Like when we were young, we
Yeah.
lived in the mountain.
Okay. Which mountain was?
So we're gonna remote.
Yeah.
So we used to live in the midway of the mountain when
Yeah.
my mom was, going to school
Mhm.
for her master's work. Really, really poor. So that it's hard because once we reach the school where my brother and I
Mhm.
are already hungry, we could not, you know.
Wow.
So my grandmother, who was living at the peak of the mountain, she
Mm.
took us. So we've really experienced life of people who's living in the mountain. Like we never had shoes, like only slippers, and then something like that kind of life. But it was fun.
Mhm.
Like when there's a rice, but there's
No.
a corn, but we have to manually grind it with an old stone to cook it. So that kind of life. But it's a wonderful life.
I can imagine can be wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a life of hardship, but beautiful
Yeah,
hardship.
hardship and beautiful. You get to
Mhm.
sometimes when you're feeling the struggle
Mhm.
and then you're pulling the strength, those experiences. Yeah. So what's the third one?
The third one was you selling street food.
Yeah. So I grew up selling street foods.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Selling street foods like after
Well, it's easier to say now because I'm probably in a comfortable position, maybe to say that. But I guess it's a lot of challenges also.
Yeah, I grew up with we grew up with poverty. Really.
But I guess all of you are very courageous people with a lot of heart to have made it out so
Yes.
far from where you come from, and that no one can take away from you.
Mhm.
And that's one of the biggest. There's no need for certificate for determination. You feel it in someone.
Mhm.
So yeah, I can be very proud of yourself
Aw.
and your whole family.
Thank you, Sean.
And I hope this part of your life you now cherish it for what it is,
Yeah.
a memory.
I always cherish it.
Mhm.
So so maybe that's the reason why, like, even if in networking, I don't know, it feels like I have to reach out and maybe like help in a little way,
Mm-hmm.
because you know the feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want that person to, not, for example, in networking, you've been there and you want to help that person feel a little better and be more confident. And
Mm-hmm.
whoever he is, he should shine in that situation, like, so just a little hosting, gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Shine.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Absolutely. That's a very wonderful personal life story that was very amazing to hear. It's really
unexpectedly, Sean.
That's the beauty of Two Truth, One Lie.
Yeah, right.
If people do that, like, just give.
You really gave me a wonderful.
Take ideas, like I give ideas for free. That's why I get blue 20 in the.
Oh my, me is only 14.
Yeah. So every day I get creative ideas. I don't know what to do with them.
Maybe
some of them are $1 million, but for me, that's why I'm not afraid to. Some people are like, "Oh no, this is my idea. I don't know. I share it. I give it because I won't have time to do it."
Yeah. Wow. That's
why should I keep it for myself? I know you want to do something like that. Do it.
Oh, I love that perspective.
I prefer to see my friends doing it than probably someone else doing it.
Yeah.
I have an idea. Let me give it to my friend who's doing it. Just share.
I love it. You're not hoarding your ideas, just for keeps.
In life, there's so much that you can do. Why should I keep? Should I be greedy doing that? Should I be greedy doing? Then you end up doing nothing. When you want to do everything, you do nothing. That's what happens.
That's right.
Yeah, because I did that mistake. When I was a kid, I wanted to do everything. I wanted to be football player. I wanted to be this chef.
And then,
I wanted to.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I had my head full of it. Now I'm still studying digital marketing.
But it's wonderful.
As a dream, I never dreamed of being a digital marketer. That job did not exist before.
I know.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Now, big talk. Yourself, you have a creative idea of making networking more fun.
Yes.
Which is big talk. What is big talk?
So
the goal is just to pick a card, right?
Just pick a card.
Okay. Perfect. We'll go with this one. So we both are going to talk about it, right?
Yes.
Let's see. Why this question?
We can shuffle if you feel like
it's the part of the game. It's just a question which always comes. So I'm like, what travel experiences have changed your life?
Oh my gosh, you just talked about traveling.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. Like, there's a limit.
Okay.
Of how long you can
talk.
Yeah, talk.
Okay, what's the limit?
Probably like 1 minute or something.
Okay, 1 minute.
And let's see, like, does it really capture the essence?
Every traveling experience which I had changed my life. For example, Bordeaux, I went there. It was my first time going to Europe. It was during the summer. So for me, I lived in a small village of Mirambeau where there was only 4,000 people living. And I was working in a Relais Chateau. It was a 5-star hotel where I worked in a star Michelin restaurant and worked as front desk as well. And very funny thing about this city is that it has just the chateau, a big like Walmart kind of store, one post office, one office of tourism, one pastry shop, one florist, and 6 hairdressers. So it didn't really change my life, but it changed my perspective on how I view the world, and it has driven the will of traveling into me. So this, like, I always dreamed of traveling when I was a teenager, and from that travel, I knew that this is what I wanted in my life, is to continue discovering new people, new cultures, new places. Just traveling is not just seeing what's outside. When you travel, you also travel from the inside. So you grow as a person. So yeah, that travel changed my life. Going to Bordeaux, Mirambeau. Yeah.
Wow.
What about
So
you?
wonderful
Oh, so you
question.
pick another one.
Yeah, I'll pick another.
Okay, let me pick in this one. It's 1 minute. Okay.
This is like
We're getting boring. Big talks, or what are we?
no, like how have your values changed over time?
Oof.
This
Yeah.
was this is
This
like
is-
a Miss Universe question. Can I skip it?
No.
We should skip it.
Okay.
Like
Well, we have one skip joker. So, but next time you skip, you lose the game.
like that's so that values, you know.
It's so personal. Can't skip, you'll lose.
What are your favorite poems, teachings, or sayings?
That's for you to answer, not me. Poems, right? Yeah.
Teachings or sayings.
Teachings.
Well, I have it here.
Okay.
My phone. I am keeping one of my like quotes.
Mhm.
How do you say it? Quotes. Jordan Patterson was interviewed.
Yeah.
Okay. You know him?
I know who that is.
Like, I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
he's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
He said, this was on May 3.
Yeah.
He said, you can be way more than that.
Mhm.
And it's a crime, an ethical crime, to allow all that necessary potential to go to waste. It hurts you, it hurts your family, it hurts the world. So, what I interpreted with that is
Mhm.
you don't hold to yourself what you can offer if that's your true expression of yourself. So, if you're, for me, I'm more into reaching out to people, like maybe
Mhm.
I like connecting with them, like a gatekeeper, something,
Yes.
because it gives me happiness. If I try to hold, it's like it's giving me that. You can feel that, right? If
Yeah.
you cannot express yourself, there's that kind of energy that feels like you're shrinking.
Mhm.
But if you're showing it to others, you feel like you're growing. So whatever that is, the potential is there. Uh, we have, like I have. Yeah, it's unethical if you're not sharing it. So, what do you think of big talk? Now, these cards, like,
It's fine. We just had 2 cards, so
yeah,
we should do
so-
more.
Yeah, so see the questions.
It's
Like,
alright.
no.
I don't understand the concept of. I understand where it comes, like making it just in 1 minute. You
Yeah.
know, you go to the essential point. Sometimes you just want to talk about.
But in networking,
Mhm.
since
It
it's a
is-
loud place and
Yeah.
everything, so asking follow up questions
Mhm.
sometimes. What do you think? Like,
My
it should
turn.
be like 1 minute. Yeah, your turn.
This is your pack.
Okay. Okay.
I should pull only from this one.
Uh-huh. I think this episode should be about big talk.
Just big talk.
Yeah.
Well, we should play for a longer time.
Oh no.
I think we will do that.
You know, like
I will buy one for the podcast
Mhm.
when we can. For various people who comes, when we can do a big
Mhm.
talk section. So I'm going to pull.
Okay.
Ugh.
What?
Let's skip this one.
Okay. We have the
Well, we had a Joker, right? Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to do this one.
Yeah.
What do you wish others would do less and more of? Oh, so easy. Less talk, more walk. Easy.
Okay.
For example, like I hear people always big talkers, they are loud, they're confident, then they don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And why talk? Why are you talking so much about this is great, this is wrong, should be like this? Do it. Do what's
Yeah.
wrong better. Then if you're so good, then go and do it. Stop talking. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, less talk, more walk. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
That's also like one of the thoughts that would, run onto you,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not entertaining that thought. But you know those people,
Yeah.
right? Oh, I hope this one is not so serious. Oh my gosh, describe a time a stranger helped you. This is like um a very emotionally charged question. No,
Ooh.
really, because when my mom and I were in the bank and we're waiting for my father's salary to get into the
Mm-hmm.
card because like we have our money is not enough for food like for the next day. So there's this a Muslim woman who's inside the bank too. Like we were just been waiting since 9 and then it was like 1 o'clock. Like I don't know. Like she's also taking time and she noticed that we're just waiting at the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom would go out, check again if the money is there in the card.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting there. And then when the woman
Mhm.
is about to leave, she handed my mom a money, like enough for us
Yeah.
to have food.
Yeah.
Like I did not expect that. Like it's one of those moments that if you have something, I think that's one of the experience that if I have something little, because I could relate how it feels like to have like zero amount of money and you're worried of what to eat tomorrow, that I could share,
Yeah.
So that's one of the most wonderful experience too.
It is.
Yeah.
Because I was just reflecting on, like, in that moment,
Yeah.
it's a very hard feeling, when I think a lot of people won't relate, but, like, going to that ATM machine, seeing
Yeah, like
if,
what?
and when the money is not here, you're like,
Yeah,
that
and then
stress which comes. Yeah. Yeah, I remember those moments. So, yeah, not from myself, but,
yeah,
being
like
a
and then it's
child,
12 o'clock
my
and then
mom is like, yeah,
you're
definitely.
hungry, and that woman was just like
Yeah.
secretly,
Yeah.
oh, for us, it's yes, it's okay, you can go, something like that. So it's one of those moments that really changed the way how you think,
Mhm.
how you view others, to be more helpful sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes only because.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you notice about this kind of conversation?
It's well, right now they're very much like very interpersonally related. It's very interpersonal. I was expecting more like some factual theme stuff, but it's very on yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very interesting. Like I was thinking, like, big talk for me when people talk big is more about let's create something, idea or a solution to a problem. That's what
Okay.
I think more of big talk, talking about yourself is, but sometimes we don't get that inspiration to really what we want to talk about. So yeah, wonder what's my third card. What makes you feel lucky? Whew.
Oh, Sean, that's a nice question.
What makes me feel lucky? I'm someone who is very productive of my some kind of way, a bit of my personal life. People don't see. A lot of people who watch it will never know who really I am because on the podcast I'm somebody else. So what makes me feel lucky? I feel lucky to host this podcast because how did I get the job of a podcast?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm also interested.
this is going to be a very exclusive story, and I think it deserves its own episode. I feel lucky because how I got this job. So when I came to Canada, I said I wouldn't work the first semester because I really wanted to understand what digital marketing is and what it is. So I actually went to an interview to a hotel during the first semester to try to get a job, and that hotel refused my candidature. They didn't refuse, but they didn't reply back. I was like, with all my hospitality experience and expertise, I see what was the reason. I don't know. So I felt a bit, my ego took a bit of a, so I say, yeah, maybe it's not meant to happen for me. If I can't get a job there, then probably, yeah, just leave it. So I was working very intensively on my assignment during first semester. So in residence, I was working. So there was this guy always coming around 11 p.m., midnight, and every time say hi. Every night we would just say hi. And one day he was walking to the bus transit, and I was also walking to the bus transit, and I think then he was talking on the phone in French. So then, like, I say hi. How? Then he was like, "Hey, how are you? We see each other." Then he said, "You speak French also?" I say, "Yeah. How do you know? You have a French accent." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." Then we started talking. I think we just talked for like 5 minutes till we walked to the bus and took our bus. And then like I was walking again, and then he came and sit with me, said, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like every time we meet each other, and we just say hi. But he said to me, "I really appreciate you doing that. Coming at 11 p.m. at midnight is like having someone acknowledging you. You're not coming to your place alone again. So it's very important to, at least, you have that reason." I say, "It's normal, man. Like, this is life. We're all human beings, and that's how it should be. And then we just started talking about life and everything. And then I said, "What am I working about?" And say, "You know what? I'm trying to record." There was a video which we needed to do for Sean Weaver's assignment for the video editing class.
Okay.
There was one. So I needed to record that line. Say, "Wow, you have all this, that? You know what? We're looking for someone at my work, like a student association for the voice podcast." So he recommended me. Then he said, "You know what? Write a mail tomorrow. Write this mail. Because I say, "You know what? I don't know if I should do it or not." And I say, "Okay," because he's so encouraging. I say, "Okay, let me do it." When I did it, I sent a mail. Terry was the president back then, and then like Terry said, "Yeah." So she said, he told me, "Send the videos you did and everything like that for this assignment and all the visuals." I sent it, and that's how. So then they said, like, they will do a recruitment event. Come to that recruitment event. That's how I went to the recruitment event, and then I talked and everything. I did the interview, and that's how I got it.
Wow.
So I went to the interview, still did the interview, and so, but I think if he didn't recommended me, I probably would not have attended the fair. I would probably just, it's here. So I didn't, because when I saw the ad on the story, I saw it before he told me, say, "Wow, voice podcast, that's cool."
It
Like,
is
you can
cool.
have a podcast and everything. Then I was like, imposter syndrome, just be like, but George, shout out to George. I wanted to keep that part for the last episode, but I say, hey, so what? And I will say it on the last episode also. So thank you to George. It's all why I'm hosting this podcast is a big thanks, a big part for George being very encouraging to me. So I feel lucky to have met George in my life, and he's an amazing human being, which everyone should meet. So hopefully one day I can host George before I leave. That's my... So but he's I think in Ottawa now, so it will be difficult to have him, but amazing human being and amazing history. It's emotional hearing George's story, and his character, his personality is just amazing. He will make you feel that impossible is nothing. So
Oh.
that kind of person. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So thank you, Gail, for coming to share with us about the power of networking and how a difference it can make for students in their professional life and also personally making friends.
Mhm.
And also we talk a bit about two truth one lie. We learned a game, and I
Yeah.
learned a game for you, big talk, and
Which you did not expect.
which we did not expect. And yeah, so thank you so much. And do you have
Thank
a
you,
last
Sean.
message for our students?
Yeah. I think all students, especially international students, to really go out and try to connect with other people. If you need a buddy, you just for a start, just contact me and I will be there every single networking event. So,
How to contact you?
yeah, how to contact me, just message me in my LinkedIn
Mm-hmm. Which
because it's
is
not searchable.
yeah,
LinkedIn is Gail Talasan-Manigsaca or in
perfect.
Instagram at Gail Manigsaca.
Perfect. I will write them down for them. Make
Okay.
sure. Yeah. And thank you again for sticking to the end and watching this lovely episode of a voice podcast. Again, I wish you again an amazing week at SLC. See you soon. Bye bye.